the implementation of his 20 points.
جميل. سؤالنا الأخير سيد روس، كيف تقيم طريقة تعامل الولايات المتحدة مع إيران من منطلق المشهد الذي نعيشه اليوم في المنطقة ومن خلال 47 عام الماضية؟ هل أخطأت الولايات المتحدة في تعاملها مع النظام الإيراني؟ وباختصار لو سمحت لأن الوقت داهم على تقريبا.
Well, I think the answer is we've made many mistakes over the years in terms of how we deal with Iran. One fundamental mistake was prior to President Trump, to be fair to President Trump, previous presidents created an impression for the Iranians that they had a kind of impunity. They could cross all sorts of lines, whether it was enriching to 60% or building a proxy network that threatened all the other states in the region. And they got away with it. They got away with it for far too long. The problem, I think, at this point, however, is that you got to have a strategy. It's not at all clear what President Trump's strategy is. Had President Trump agreed, worked out an arrangement with the Israelis where for 7 to 10 days they did intensive attacks just against the military and defense industrial infrastructure in Iran, but not gone after the regime. They could have held in reserve the threats against the regime so the regime would not try to close down or control the Straits of Hormuz. Since 1987-88, Iran made no effort to try to control the Straits. And the reason was they were convinced it would produce a war that could threaten the regime. Now the fact is, the president should have held in reserve the threats to the regime while weakening the Iranian capacity to threaten its neighbors. I wish that had been the approach. I hope the outcome of this war is not one that gives the Iranians some potential to have an economic lifeline. I hope the outcome of this war is that there will be a containment deterrent strategy so that the inner contradictions within Iran can come to the fore. From that standpoint, as I said, this Iranian leadership is going to be in more difficulty when the war is over than when